Listen to Duhheads, baby.
Show after the show.
The show after the show, and we crashed Skanks Fest. We actually did it. And
guys.
I'm hopping on the bed. We're in the hotel right now.
Kick back, man.
We're doing this we're kicking it old school.
We're at the South Point with all these geezers right now.
Fucking geezed up, dude. But it was a success. It was a raging success. Us crashing Skanks Fest was fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, dude. The Skanks fans were awesome. I was shocked at how friendly they almost all were.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. So here, I'm gonna preface with this. So go to the Patreon, patreon.com/duhheads. I have my own Patreon, patreon.com/couchphilosopher. I post stand-up clips and my other show. Check out Kill Podcasters Network. We have American Death Camp, Piss Magazine, and tons of other shit. Okay, that's out of the way. Also, the next few episodes we're going to release are going to be out of order because this one has to come out next.
Yeah, man, we're in Vegas. We had to make moves.
So it's going to be all over the place, but just bear with us, okay? Anyways, so Skanks Fest was fucking...
That was the thing.
It was fucking insane. Here, I got to check the levels. I can just see them from here.
You put it all the way across the room.
Yeah, it's all the way across the boards. So we had this idea to crash Skanks Fest. No one thought we were going to do it. We almost didn't do it because we got in a massive fight last night. And
listen to that.
Yeah, go listen to that one. We started screaming at each other. Didn't finish the episode. Had to finish episode this morning in the car drive to Vegas. And yeah, it's been a
journey, man.
It's been an insane journey. We drove 4 hours, got caught in some traffic. So we get here, and I guess we just tell a story of what we did, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, first, we did a piss job driving here because, the Snake freeway system confused me. So we ended up in, a really, really seedy part of downtown.
Yeah, we were...
the rescue mission.
We were by the fucking homeless rescue shelter.
All the homeless people.
And we're like, we can't... Because what we did is we printed out 1,000 QR codes it says Skanks Fest on one side, and then there's a QR code on the back that takes you to our Spotify podcast. So the whole thing was we were trying to trick people into scanning the QR code, which happened, and then they would go to our show, and then we changed the description on our show of Gas Digital Network's new show.
Yeah,
and it worked. So we printed 1,000 of them out because I assumed there would be less than 1,500 people at Skanks Fest.
And that was almost perfect math.
It was the perfect number. So we printed those out. We're in this seedy area, and I'm like, I'm not going to stand out here. There's homeless fucking people. There's no armed veterans.
Just normal, zombies. Zombies everywhere.
Fentanyl zombies. And I'm like, I'm not going to be handing out fucking these if it's like this.
Die.
So then we found, because the address was incorrect, so we put in the right address. We get to where we're supposed to be going, and then we scope the place out, and there's the cops. There were cops on the second floor of what it is. The venue is in an old mall or something, right?
It's kind of like a mall thing, but it's on Fremont Street, so it's a casino-y thingy with restaurants in it.
Yeah, in the middle is a big elevator that takes you up. It's 3 stories. So we're kind of scoping out, seeing where we can do it, and we're almost I don't know if we're going to be able to do this because there was a big giant table with the VIP passes, and I didn't want to deal with staff. That was the big thing.
Yeah, and they actually sucked.
Yeah, hang on. I didn't want to deal with staff. That was the big thing I didn't want to deal with. So we had to find out where we could hand them out to people, where we're not being harassed and told to leave by staff. That was the whole thing we were trying to do. Or security or the cops.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to be loitering. We know we're in Vegas and everything, but since I was telling you, there's no more of in Vegas back in the day when I would come here, there would be people slapping cards when you'd walk down the strip, and they would be all over the floor, and that doesn't happen anymore. So I was thinking there's probably a law where you can't do that, so we kind of had to we did a pretty fucking good job. I'm surprised.
Yeah, so we had to go over... Basically, what happens is, the way to get into this little, circular 3-story place is it's a long hallway that takes you into it. It's a big... where there's, restaurants on each side. So what we did... And then there's, a giant escalator that leads you up in the front. So what we did is we stood on each side of the escalator... and it basically funnels everyone into Skanks Fest.
Yeah.
So you like have to walk through this place. So it was perfect.
And
so
when you're going to Skanks Fest, they have badges on their necks, so you know exactly who's going to Skanks Fest.
Yeah, so you know who's going. So there's like, I'm not going to be handing these to people who aren't going to Skanks Fest, but you could also tell. You could fucking tell who is going.
You could tell. It was pretty cool.
So the first thing is like first guy we see Mark Norman, and I'm like, hey, that's Mark Norman, and then you're like, no, and I was like, that's fucking Mark Norman, dude. Do you want to go take a picture with him?
Yeah.
And then we were kind of both nervous at the time, so we didn't. So then I didn't know how I was going to do this at first, like how I was going to get people to take the cards, because I don't like being handed shit. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And like it sucks. I don't want to be carrying shit.
Getting like flyers on your car or something. I hate that shit.
Yeah. So what we ended up kind of settling with was we would hand him the cards that says Skankfest on one side, and then I would say, I was like, Louis J. Gomez told me to hand these out. I have to hand these out. Please take them. And then I would just be handing them out, and everyone's like, oh, cool. Or I'd go, QR codes for Skanks Fest. Louis J. Gomez is making me hand these out.
Yeah, I would just tell them where to go. There's so many people that didn't know how to get there. I'm like, oh, yeah, just down here at 3rd floor. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks, man.
Yeah, you're like giving directions, which that was helpful, too, because like
literally helping their festival.
The fucking way it was organized was insane. People had no idea what was going on.
Randomly placed banners that didn't help you find where you needed to go.
Well, it wasn't a weird area. So then immediately I see my North Star. I see Nick Mullen. And I walk up to Nick Mullen, and there's no one really around him, and I go, hey, dude, I saw you in Brea. Can I take a photo with you? And he goes, yes. So I took a picture, and he was like, I was just talking to Louis about the show in Brea. We were just arguing about it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, blah. And I was like, yeah, it was a great show and whatever. And I go, here, you want to take this QR code? He goes, oh, what is it? And I figure comedians and people who do podcasting and shit, they understand the grift, and they understand the little hustling aspects of it. So I was like, I'm going to be honest. And I was like, oh, it's a QR code for our podcast. You scan it, and it takes you to our Spotify. And he goes, really? And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, that's like genius. That's genius marketing, dude. That's really smart. And then I was like, oh, dude, I'm a fucking genius. It's on. We fucking cracked the code. And after that, I had so much confidence handing these out.
Yeah, we just started flying through cards.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot more traffic on your side of the escalator, but damn.
Yeah, I handed out more for sure, but everyone was walking to my side. You were on cleanup. You were cleaning up.
Yeah,
Because people would try to avoid me and go to your side. Boom, there you
were.
No,
I got you.
And so, I handed one to Big J Okerson, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I got him later in the day.
Yeah, then you handed him one too, which was awesome. And then fucking
got Josh Potter.
Josh Potter, yeah. I handed one to Ari Shafir. He was like, "What is this?" And I go, "Oh, we're scamming people to go to our podcast." And he goes, "Respect." And he just kept walking. I was like, "That rules."
Taken one, but whatever.
That rules. No, he did take one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he did take one.
All right, respect.
Yeah. So it was insane. And then Nick Mullen walked by you, and then he said to you, he's like, "You guys fucking rule. This is funny." Or
all day, nigga.